He completed his graduation from Andhra University. He is working as a manager in data analytics, senior technical manager. I requested to Madhu Garu to take over the section. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, hi. Very good morning. Sorry for being late. Very good morning. So, I'm really sorry for being late because I should come from the far distance and typically it's not my mistake, it's a Ola driver's mistake. So, the cab has been booked, books have cancelled and a lot of other things happened. So, and that was due to this heavy rains. My sincere apologies for sitting you 40 minutes less. So, this session is not just something we will like to write. So, as the session says, data analytics in real life. So, coming to my background, I am being a data person. I don't know how that came into my life, but I want to analyze anything which I would like to see. For example, if I am coming by a car, or if I am going anywhere.
వైట్ చూసినారు కింద పడ్డారు అనుకోండి.
So even this I got it enough information via data analysis itself. I got habituated to this board on the second time. So as I said, this session is for everyone. It's not just specific to one particular field, say civil, mechanical, electrical, computer science, anyone. So data analytics in real life, when I thought of what exactly I have to say, data analytics in real life, let me go through a glimpse of the presentation, what exactly is there in the presentation. So these are all the things which you have, right? Travel, security, advertisement, financial planning, food planning, energy saving, manufacturing, and education. I have to cover all these things to be frank, right? The target of the session is to cover all these things. But when I'm checking all these things, in coming examples, let's say in a couple of minutes, I'll say how I have applied in my real life. Leave it about my clients, leave it about my companies. How I have applied in my real life in terms of travel, in terms of healthcare, or in terms of security. So this session is all about how the data is really helping you out. And yes, this is my password. Whenever you like to get connected, yes, please get connected. Not just a promotion. Now, let me start. What exactly is data in your opinion?
Facts.
Information.
For me, it's only 0 and 110. In other words, what is data? Okay, data is facts. Yes. Information. Why do you need data? Might be a foolish question, right?
To learn our fun things.
Huh? I'm storing all my energy because I do have. I don't. Okay, no separate story. Yes, come. Speak up.
Ordered or sorted way of information.
Okay. What else is data? This session will be a purely interactive session. And yes, we'll go through a couple of tools as well. What else is data? What is data in your opinion? Okay, we are talking about two terms. One is data and one is analytics. What is data and why do you need analytics for? How many of you are from, say, AI, CSC, specific to? Okay, maybe the right people to answer. We are talking about data because data analytics is one of the toppest keywords, right? When you search data, by default, that analytics will come as a pop-up. What is the need of analytics with data? Okay. What is the difference between analysis and analytics? What is analysis? And what is analytics? Sorry, I don't have a habit of writing really good. On a simple words, what is analysis? What is analytics?
Analysis is something predicting the future, whereas analytics we are describe from the past or data we are predicting something.
Both are predicting, right? In your words.
Analysis
Like
is
analysis is
something.
something we are for future based on we are expecting something.
Okay.
But analytics based on the past like information we are expecting.
Okay. Yeah. Someone over here. Analysis. What is analysis? What is analytics? Anyone? So everyone are students out here. That includes me. What is analysis? What is analytics? Why do you need two different terms? In fact, two similar terms, two different terms. Why do you need two terms? What is analysis? What is analytics? Sound of silence can be an answer or good answer or bad answer. What is it? What is analysis? What is analytics?
Analysis comes like just observing the things which has happened, like
Okay.
growth or fall in anything, marketing or branding or any stuff.
Okay. Then what is analytics?
I don't have any.
Sorry?
I don't have any idea about. Any idea about it.
Any idea about it? That's fine. Absolutely fine. Good, appreciate it. I don't know, it's a beautiful answer, actually. Seriously. What is analysis? What is analytics?
Statistics with analysis and
Okay. Okay, a lot of people are talking about analysis. What is analytics then?
sure, sir. Statistics with analysis is analytics.
Okay, okay. Any other answers? Any other answers? Okay, to lock down this code, actually what I have done is that to ensure that how I can explain what exactly is analysis, what exactly is analytics, what I have done is that I thought of taking the concept to a zero ground level so that anyone can understand. My target is that, so after reading this, anyone should understand. So if you observe it, what is the first odd man letter word? What is the first odd man letter in these two segments?
Analysis.
T.
Analysis.
A-N-A-L-Y, common, right? There is. T is common, right? T is the first odd man out.
C.
What can be the T? Yeah, just my way of understanding it doesn't mean that you have to really transform to it. What is T? Okay, let's take a real life example. Have you been to some forest or some other new place? Right? With your friends. Have you observed some sounds of birds or some... Imagine that a group of 5 people has gone to some forest, some Nalamala forest or whatever the forest is. And you are stayed for 2 days camp. Night you are going for safari, morning you are hearing the best of the bird sounds. Someone said that that's the sound of a parrot. And you said that, no, that's not the sound of a parrot, that's the sound of something else. Say, I don't know, I cannot compare the realistic example of it, but still. Say eagle or say sparrow, something like that. Now, my question is, how can a group of people come with different opinions in the same forest? What makes the difference of opinion between two people?
Way of designing.
Thought.
Way of designing.
For example, if I say strongly that nobody, this is the sound of a parrot, then at some point they'll be asking that, how do you know? Right? Then what would be your answer?
Because they've heard it before.
They have heard it before. Exactly, they have heard it before. Which means that the data of the particular parrot has been stored somewhere, maybe in your memory somewhere, somewhere in your nerves, right? Now your brain is the one of the tool, right? Agree? Is your brain a tool or not? In the same instance, if I say, what is the most funniest or stupid incident which you have done in your 8th class? Your answer would be, sir, I have done ample amount of things in my 8th class. Tell me one instance which you would like to correlate. Now they will say that no, that day in the sports day. Right? Which means that my exact query is the right answer to pick somewhere in your part of your brain where you don't forget at all. Right? So, analysis comes from observation. But to prove your analysis, you need some help. What is that help? A tool help which can actually store all your data and say that, boss, this is X and this the parrot sound has been recorded. If you want to have a proof of it, record it and again play it somewhere, so that would say the answer. Right? So as I always say, analysis is observation. Anyone in the world can analyze a lot of things, but not all analysis can be really proven unless and until you have a showcase or show proof of it. And analytics is the one which actually takes capture all the data and helps you to identify, match it, so that these analytical tools, we call it as a not just analytic platform, analytical tools will help you to prove that your analysis is correct, and for the future we can predict a lot. Is that clear? Clear or confusion? So analysis, analytics, technically not same. For example, even my 5-year-old baby, if I say that, how many chairs are in this classroom, can give some random number, right? A random number can never be an answer. But let's say you know some data, you are going to a lot of classrooms, and as soon as I step in, if you ask me, how do I analyze the things? I would say in a simple way, okay, there are say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chairs, and assume that there are 10 rows. So 7 into 10, 70 plus 70, 140, and between 2 is equal to say 145. So the average room size can be 130 to 150. Agree? Expected value to the estimated value to the real value. So if both are equal, then your analysis is correct. If both are not equal, then your prediction or analysis or whatever the things are being said wrong. Where this happens in our real life. For example, there is a lot of election prediction which happens, right? Some service gives the right answer, some gives a wrong answer. Not wrong answer, I mean, maybe the not nearest answer, in other words. So the reason why I am trying to say all these things is, first of all, when you talk about data, analysis and analytics plays a major role. Because, tell me one instance from past 3 years where you have purchased your mobile phone by just one recommendation. Okay, what is the best mobile under the budget of 25,000?
Vivo I51.
Sorry?
Vivo I51.
Okay, what else? What else?
Samsung M33 is latest. Samsung M33.
Samsung M50. Okay.
IIIC FDP.
Lot of answers. Now tell me which answer should I conclude? Now tell me which answer should I conclude?
By observing both of them.
By doing?
By comparison.
By comparison. How long I can compare? Because I got 3 brands within the span of say less than 90 seconds of time. If I wait for 2 minutes, how many brands will I get? So, as soon as you said right, some M50, right? Should I buy it?
Yes.
Why?
Because it has Gorilla Glass and it's 5G, it's latest. With Snapdragon of 750, which is important for gaming and all that.
I'm not a gamer at all.
Even for like daily purpose.
I use my mobile partially.
So it has good sound quality. When you are like talking on any important meetings or conference or Zoom meetings, when you are outside. So
I'm happy with my laptop for Zoom meetings.
but every time we can't carry our laptop also.
I have tab.
We'll buy a phone according to our needs.
Sorry? I'm not here to counter you, okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Like
Sorry.
we'll buy according to our needs.
Buy according to our needs. Now, as soon as I have a question, right? I need a mobile at the range of 25k. It's more or less like a previous movies lo man chusam kada. Okay, sir. I mean, there's a joke, right? Sir, which hotel would you like to go? Which tiffin would you like to go? Okay, sir. There is no dosa. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Coffee, sir. Filter coffee, mission coffee. Actually, that is a mechanism where you have to follow others. You cannot get really satisfied unless and until there's a kind of a mechanism. For example, under 25, for example, my mobile is M51. And I need only the biggest space and big feature, big screen, that's it. That's my requirement. That's typically my requirement. But my requirement need not be equal to your requirement. Okay, let's take one more real life example. What is the best biryani I can have? Oh, what is the best biryani which I can have? Huh? Mahar biryani. Where is it located? Chintan. Okay. How far is it? 15 kilometers. Okay. Shadab, where is it located?
Madina.
Madina Gura.
No, Charmira.
Okay. What else?
Hyderabad dum biryani.
Hyderabad dum biryani is a generic word.
Yeah, in paradise or in Bawachi.
In paradise. No, my dear friend. Time is, how much time will that take?
Almost 24 kilometers from here.
24 kilometers in the good rainy season, 1.5 hour. Let's say if I ask the same question at around at 12:30 or 1 p.m., by the time I go there, my starness is dead. Literally. Now, why data is helping in your life is the same example, my dear friend. Whenever I say that I need a best biryani, right? You need to check my condition as well. Because I am talking about me, not for my family or some other thing. So today I would like to have the best biryani. First of all, why did you suggest your college? No complaints about Okay. See, I am there a person where I need to have my lunch for sure, right? As if I am delivering the session, that doesn't mean that I have loads of energy after seeing you people. My loads of energy is going to decrease on a time to time. Next minute, my loads of energy will be -1 from here. Now, the time is 11 a.m., right? Sharp 11 a.m. You can suggest anything in Hyderabad, for sure. But provided, at what time till the session is? 12? Right? After meeting your faculty and other people, if I leave at 12:30 to Paradise, it will take by 2 p.m. By the time the whole RTC Crossroads and Secunderabad people will be there in Paradise, so that I shall have to wait another 20 or 30 minutes. Now, whenever, if a real-time questions comes in, right, this happens in a company. When you write a recommendation, right, when you suggest something, you need to check my condition as well. So, considering my condition into picture, at what time I am leaving. For example, the average lunch time is from 12 to 2:30. Not more than that. I know that there are very good bad habits, so that we used to have lunch at 4 p.m. as well. And not to talk to the extraordinary people. But still, we need to have a kind of a recommendation engine which was set according to my conditions versus your availability. Unless and until both cannot be equal. Now, how do I know about your conditions, sir? Because I don't know anything about you. You need not know anything about me. You just need to know that what is the probable time where I leave from this college. That's it. And provided what is the nearest best biryani. I don't need 10 by 10, at least 7 by 10 is good. In other words, the best answer can be, sir, the nearest biryani can be Sharan, which is 15 kilometers away and 20 minutes where you can reach it. But you like to have the world-class biryani, then go to Bawarchi at some time in your day. Is the first answer the correct answer or the second answer the correct answer? That's why you give the recommendations, 2 recommendations. I'll store it in my data. Now, all this happens when you can only not just having the data from your end, but also thinking that predictable data from my end. That can only be possible when you think and able to jot down my mindset. Not only my mindset, anyone's mindset. Anyone in the world, maybe some lecturer from, I know the best of the Hyderabad, right? And I know where exactly the biryani comes in. In fact, chickpea don biryani is also good. Agree? Have you tasted? You should taste it. I can give the best suggestions. In other words, not today for sure. You need to have a very good time and you need to search where is chickpea don biryani. Well, if there are very good chicken lovers, that's the best place for sure. But too spicy, okay? Now, when I'm talking about a small piece, something like a biryani, which is the famous for Hyderabad, lot of other things which happens in our life are being a data center. So, you know what? We don't build any products for aliens, right? I am working for a client where the client's purpose is to serve the customers. Again, so which means that I am working for someone whom I don't know, the other one. There are only mediators, one is the company and the client, where they interact with each other. So there is a company, there is a client, and I am someone who is a doer over there. And ultimately, these are all customer centric, where you are only targeting for yourself for some part in the region. So that's the reason the data, understanding the data, having the data is one of the challenge. Understanding the data is the biggest challenge. Clear? So are we clear about few things? One, what is analysis? Are you clear? Analysis is the observation, a simple observation which can be helpful for future provided you have the analytical goal. For example, there might be some scenarios where the data is not used. For example, sir, if I ask that where can I get the organic plants? You might have one option which is the only option. No, not all scenarios where you have very less data and a straightforward recommendation. At times you confuse with the probability that what should I buy, right? Someone claims that this X mobile is good, someone claims that this Y mobile is good, and there would be definitely some scenarios where you have purchased a good mobile considering different opinion, and unfortunately that's a bad mobile. Agree? Have you ever faced it? For example, after all doing the research, I purchased this mobile and this mobile and was not satisfied. Are there any instances like that? For example, you might have gone to some good hotel which was claimed to be the best hotel, but you are not happy with it. Happens, right? Now, when I say it happens, we are actually striving for a 100% customer satisfaction. For example, unless and until your mind is okay, unless and until you say that this can be done, you cannot go to the next level of stuff. Clear? Is that clear? As I was always saying, so this is the one thing, when to buy, where to buy, when to hold. I believe definitely there are some people who are into crypto trading and all, by doing all these challenges and all, right? How the market is going, my dear friends? Huh? Sorry? No. Why the market is low? Why the market is low? I haven't traded any crypto yet. Maybe you're the subject matter experts over here. So when you're trading something, for example, have you invested some in IPOs or mutual funds, right? Might have, right? There was one of my friend, why don't you invest in some X product? I don't want to defame the product, that is one product which is there in your mobile apps. Now, my way of approach in buying something, for example, in terms of the financial market, goes in 3 ways. Whether, 1, am I using it? Or 2, do I know it? Third one, is it too popular? For example, the share of amount of tiles is almost say 75,000, right? One share is equal to 70,000. Yes, I used to have the amount of tires in my to my two-wheeler. That is well popular. Yes, that has a worth value. But let's say there is some other product where I am not using at all, but the IPO has come in. Can I invest in them? For example, Adani ports, other things has come in. Am I using Adani products? I don't know if I am using something. But seeing the marketing conditions and other conditions, I have my own calculation that, okay, the market estimation from these products of this business can grow. How can I understand it? By seeing the data, by seeing the people's, and seeing the real data, not just a assumed data. Assumed data can be a gossip, but the seeing data can be from the stock exchanges and other things. That's just one example. There are a lot of examples. For example, if you are purchasing a mobile, if you are purchasing a SIM card, what is the best SIM card which you use always? Airtel Jio, right? Half of the answers are Airtel Jio. I am not here to comment on others, but why not others is always a question. Have you ever thought of that? Why don't I buy the other mobiles, other SIMs? Because you have read something, the might or might not go somewhere good, some kind of a gossip, or else the customer satisfaction. When you raise a ticket, the 8 people comes in, etc. Right? See, we are not here to spoil sport any kind of a branding at all. But we are trying to say an example that your decision is always based on your experience plus outside results as well. That's the reason we always say that data-driven decisions are more important. DDD. So whatever the day, every small instance in your daily life, every small instance, trust me, every small instance in your daily life is a data-driven solution. For example, choosing this particular college is as well can be the only option or can be the data-driven solution. Is there anything else apart from these two? Sir, I just stay nearby. That is also a data-driven solution because you don't want to travel much. So this college has a very good reputation and placement and other things. That is also a data-driven solution. No sir, I somehow missed the MSET or I said what are the examinations are. And I found that this college, I know a couple of professors. That is also a data-driven solution. Now, where exactly the data-driven solution is coming from? The recommendation engine. Who are the recommendation engines? Leave it about tools. Leave it about IT for a while. We are not talking about tools in IT for a while. We are talking about data in real life. Who are the recommendation engines? The information which you see about the college, the events which have been floating, maybe the publicity as well, maybe some Times of India rankings recently. Lot of things will occur to ensure that okay, this can be my next 4 years future step. And that's the reason, though you are coming from different, either you are coming from ISET, MSET or paid seat, via seat, what are the CTs, you are stepping into the college and when you are getting into the college, every student is considered as a zero student because you are not categorized as part of the seats or how did you come, but you are categorized on how are you performing from them. Now, the day you come in, the data-driven examination actually starts from professors. How X person and how Y person and how other people are actually dealing with. And what are the parameters? For example, if you ask me, what is one of those the smallest tools to calculate your performance is nothing but your rank card. Agree? Let's say, sir, I am not good at subjects, but there is something called as rank card, right? Sports, or else a center of excellence or something else. For whatever that you feel that I am excellent in this, there is some kind of criteria and a kind of a parameter which was judged for you. And those things are nothing but tools that can show to the world that boss, this person is there and this person is very good at, say, innovation, but he might have scored only 60% of marks. That's fine. So this person has been failed for 5 subjects, but still this person has started his own startup and also generating a revenue with 5 employees. There are 2 signals. We are not here to ignore anyone, but the calculation criteria always depends on the kind of data which you see. Any questions? Any questions? I think I am speaking since 15 minutes. Any questions before we talk about it? The PPT is just a format. Any questions? Any questions? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the real life case study where I have experience in.
So that is when you have explained that it's data driven, and what is a data centric? How do you compare this?
See, whenever, for example, for instance, college education. I have my 5-year-old baby, and I shifted to a new place. Leave it about my shifting to a new place or not. Being a data-centric person in my real life, I'm talking about my real life, a real life example. In fact, I have written a few articles on that how to choose a school as well. I'm comparing the same example. 5-year-old baby is something like where you have to step into classroom, right? Now, what are the parameters and how do you judge a school? Is one big question for me. There are almost ample amount of schools in my area. There is data. I have loaded the data like anything. I have gone to the website. I have talked to some of the parents. I have talked to some of the schools. Now, tell me the criteria. I understand that you are not yet parents, but you are actually children, right? Imagine the parental understanding of selecting a school. Might not be possible for each and every parent. But what I have done is that I have collected the list of all the schools in the area. Now, verifying list of all the schools in my area, considering my baby age and all. Let's say I got 10 schools. Now, the first target for me is to pick the odd man out. How can I pick the odd man out? Come speak on this.
Good education.
Huh?
Good education.
How do you tell me that there is a good education?
Popularity in the society.
Popularity in the society can be a noise as well. For example, there is wrong information which is also being popular.
Good faculty.
Huh?
Asking students.
Huh?
Results they have showed in 10th board.
Are the results the only criteria? So tell me one engineering candidate who is not getting less than 70% these days. Okay, how much time will you take to complete one examination? Genuine answer, please.
2.5.
Huh?
2.5.
1.5 hour?
2.5.
For preparation and writing the examination.
30 minutes.
For one paper.
Preparation.
Oh, preparation is out of the subject. So, tell me, to clear one subject for 70 marks, how much time will you, do you need?
1 hour.
1 hour.
1 night.
Anything else actually? IARE, please listen. 1 hour, what else? 1 night.
1 night.
How many more juice which is have the lesson exam? No, man, that's fine. See, I'm not an examiner. Of course, you. 1 night, 1 answer, sorry, 1 hour. Tell me in hours. 1 hour is the least minimum answer. Maybe 5 minutes is the least minimum answer is 1 hour. Speak out. Listen, as I said, this is fully interactive. As I said,
2 to 2.5.
2 to 1 hours. 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 2.5 2.5 hours.
2 to 2.5 hours. So which means that to pass one semester examination of 70 plus criteria, you are spending 150 minutes and you are writing the examination for 3 hours. So the amount of sitting in the examination is less than the preparation of your time. Maybe you have to design the new matrix and show to the JNT that we have ample amount of time and use the projects. Trust me, no. If I ask the straightforward question, what are you doing the rest of the time? No answer, sir. We don't like it. What are you doing for the next? Okay, how many papers in semester? 4. 4, say 2.5 into 4 is 10 hours, which is equal to 2 days technically. So out of your office hours, so college hours, right? So you're actually working for 2 days in the whole semester. A semester has a 4 months, 3.5 months, 100 days. So out of 100 working days, you're actually working for 2 days. Now, tell me, sir, what are you doing for the next one? One of the reasons why I am trying to ask this question is, data-driven decisions are made like this, man. When you are trying to take the best of the input, right? So when I am trying to choose the school for my baby, what I have done is that, what are the parameters of that school? I need a ground, and I need some good space and good view, and first thing is sanitization. Second one is ground. Third one is the consistency. Fourth one is that how they are actually giving the value to your brain, not just the papers. These are all the criteria. After noticing that, I have found that okay, there are hardly no schools like this. And to be like my wife is there, it's that you have to control yourself. Yes, I have to control because we have to. If there is no food, you have to eat something, right? I am also in the same situation. Maybe by next year, I would definitely form one school for my baby. For sure, and I need your support, my dear friends. Now, coming to your point, right? I have the data, and when I have searched about, right? I got the information. How did I get the information? By speaking to different people, different way of approach. In fact, there are some schools where I have requested that, can I see how you are teaching to your students? So that, no sir, how is that possible? So that, why that is not possible, my teacher, is my question. And some people said that, you are losing that traditional values. I am asking about how are you teaching, and you are talking about the tradition, which has no link. So that school has been eliminated. That school has a very big playground and everything. Lot of things. So facilities, AC and CC camera is not my criteria. How a kid can be enhanced to the next level, because we are talking about the innovation way of learning, experiential way of learning, and trust me, there should be no books in future, for sure, right? Because when someone would like to say any kind of a subject naturally, why do you need a book? On the other side, we say that we have to plant the trees, and on the other side, we say we carry a bunch of books. Which should be actually can be reduced only by experiential learning. When I search for the experiential learning, there are hardly 2 schools in Hyderabad. I don't want to name them, I don't want to defame others. Now, can I join in these 2 schools? Because these 2 are too far from my area. Then how can I plan for my kids' future? This is the biggest question. So, when I am talking a lot about data-centric driven solutions, data-centric decisions, if I am not implementing within my home, which means that I am just a speaker but not doing anything in my home. So, I don't wish any of you, when you are trying to say or when you are trying to speak, right, the first important thing is that don't compare IT to another sector or other world. IT is your part. If someone asks me that, what is IT and what is non-IT, my only first answer is that there is nothing like an IT or non-IT. You build IT products for the non-IT people. Agree? Yes. Agree?
Yes.
What? I mean, there is no difference. And here, when you, at times there will be no data. For example, how can I get this? How can I assume that this school can be a good school? There are some parameters. There are some websites which might help, but all the websites need not help. There might be some reviews which have been written by paid moment. I cannot even confirm that. So how can I go ahead? How can I take a decision? Out of 10 schools, there is only one school she has to stick in. And that school should give the value to my thought process, and also they should encourage it, other students. Now this is a challenge. A school, my question is that you might have this much thought process, not every parent might have, because we have to treat everyone equally. Now that my question is, I'm not here to treat anyone separately. I'm trying to understand your way of approach to the students for the next generation. And that's the only reason the data which is driving me for my baby to at least think about my area first. Understand the geolocation, demolocations, understand how the people mindsets are there, and then understand my way of approach. If I can control, let's say if I have 10 criteria, can I reduce to 6 at least? The 6 would be equal to 100% for me. Not all the 10 points. Is that a body? Clear? Now, when it comes to your college, right, you have 2 hours. You are using 2 hours in say 800 hours. Agree? 100 days of college, 100 into 8 hours, 800, and 2 hours for your examination preparation. College has a lot of other activities. Now, can you confirm me that the 788 hours are being perfectly utilized or not? You don't say that all to professors. No, I'm not here to interrogate or trying to ask something. So here the target is to understand how are you trying to utilize your total hours, and what can be the best probability where you can implement something where the world is needing. Now what does the world need? You know what one of the biggest challenges in this world is? Nothing else. The data is oil, the data is a challenge. The huge data itself is a challenge. For example, to take a decision, go to a movie. Should I watch a movie in OTT or no, it's waste to watch in theater or go to OTT? Can I watch the 50-hour match today? Why are we sticking to 20? The attention span of any kind of a person has been reduced to, even the people who are listening online, has been reduced to drastically to a lot of them. So how should I make a session? Should I send a bunch of PPTs and read it? Or should I make it so that actually captures your mind? So for example, the college example or my baby example are never been framed in any kind of an examples. Now here, whenever you try to search any kind of a data, right, one of the biggest challenges is that you have the data in different forms. For example, someone will say and you don't know where to note it. And someone will write a recommendation. You have different forms of data. How do you store it? Where do you store it? How do you store it? Is always the biggest challenge. So that's the reason in a process of complete data analytics, one of the biggest challenges, data collection is one of the challenge. Data modeling is the biggest challenge ever. For that, we use different tools. Okay, how many of you heard about business intelligence? Okay, what is artificial intelligence? What is business intelligence? What is intelligence? Leave it about artificial intelligence, business intelligence. Why do you use intelligence with technologies? Why do you use intelligence with technologies? What is intelligence? Don't think too much, my dear friends, you are already intelligent. What is intelligent? How do you term a person as an intelligent?
Which is solving a critical situation?
Sorry?
Which is solving a critical situation?
How is he solving in a critical situation? Exactly. Nice. Any other answers?
To think and take proper decisions.
To think and take proper decisions. So critical decision. Okay. What else? Sorry?
Smart.
Smart. Okay.
How knowledgeable he is.
Knowledge, intelligence. Okay, how knowledgeable is. Okay. What else?
Right time, right decision making also is.
Right term and right decision, which is actually equal to the kind of an taking the right act at the crucial times. Agree? So you can call anyone who is intelligent, who is the right person who can act in at tough times, or else in the needed times, or else somewhere where you got stuck. For example, if you are planning for a college event and suddenly one of the guests has dropped off for multiple reasons and you don't know what to do with it. You can call someone who is an intelligence who can actually engage that particular time, not just by engaging, by giving the idea. So how can you get that thought process? You can get that thought process by training lot of things for him. How do you train a system? For example, when you say that you have to train a system, you need to have a training mechanism. What is the training mechanism? That's nothing but a learning, right? For example, if I have to make, I don't want to go deep into it, but for all the people who are there in the courses of AI and ML, especially, you create an artificial intelligence system for the systems which are artificial to ensure that the system is being trained by some programming technique and machine learning applications. Now, using the machine learning applications only, you can say that the system is well intelligent because it has understandable for all the scenarios. Clear? Now, whenever you are trying to check any kind of a data, the first thing which comes to our point is that how do you frame the data? How do you challenge the data? So let me take my real life example. We are talking about manufacturing. You have seen the education. I have been to different tours and travels. So different places. And I have risked my journey in multiple ways. Starting from, recently we have been to Nainital, and Nainital is not my destination at all. So I got some good enough time, I just traveled to Delhi. And I was showing to my wife that, okay, pick one of the fingers. What the hell are you talking? So that should we go to Dharamshala, should we go to Nainital, should we go to Manali, or should we go to Darjeeling? So these are my 4 options. And when I said that, sitting in the hotel at 2 p.m., I am the person who was asking that where should we go? And we have traveled all the way from Hyderabad to Delhi. Now, I am not asking as if I have random answer. I have the data in hand, I have already collected the data, I know the train list, flight list and everything. I know that the hotels are available. There can be no train or no flight available, which is suddenly booked all of a sudden. And I'm sitting in a Delhi centric place. So finally, yes, we have been to Nainital, and where should you be placed? Your data-driven decision should be actually planned according to your needs. Okay, I have been to Nainital. Where should you be there? Nainital is a city of lakes. Okay, Nainital, there is Nainital, Bhimtal and other tals. Tals are nothing but lakes. Where should you sit? What is your mindset? I love the nature and I love the greenery, but I don't like the crowd. Any kind of place in the world has a lot of crowd, but how to escape the crowd is also the big question. Now you have to search for some hotels or some kind of places which actually adds to your mind. And according to that, we have chosen a hotel where that is very good connected, not crowded, and also being helpful to for easy commute, and you can love and work. Now this is, you might say that, sir, this is your consideration, sir, that how can that be really helpful for the companies? Because there are a lot of travel-based companies where the options have been divided according to your needs only. Right? For example, you go to Goa and you go make my trip. How many filters are available? Did you ever imagine? Have you been used this Airbnb? Ample amount of filters are available. You want to go, but you need the internet because you want to work as well. That's my condition. I like to have very good internet speed. And I like to have my own coffee. So, which means that the hotel is not a good choice. Hotel might have this, what I mean to say, the hot water heater, but that's not the need. Maybe in the cool, timid place, I like cook my own Maggi instead of calling to Zero and get me one Maggi. Maybe I'll purchase 10 rupees Maggi packet and cook for myself. Now, you have the kitchen option, you have the Wi-Fi option, you have the laundry option because you like to stay for longer. You cannot wear the same clothes for all the 10 days. Or now you can pack the whole clothes stuff in your bag. The flight people will not allow you more than 15 kgs. So these are your preconditions. My post condition is what I need it. Balancing the precondition on what I have and what is the limitation. Because if I go to some other place, definitely I'll buy some other exciter. If my carry bag has 12 kgs, which means that in return it will have definitely 16 to 17 kgs. Because you tend to buy something for you or others. So which means that you have to have a limited place. Here also data is helping. So you cannot, I don't have weighing machine. You need not have weighing machine. You have a sense of how much luggage you are carrying. That itself says that okay, you're not carrying too much of luggage. Now, the fourth point is the place safer or not, which is also more important. Now you have to check the review-based sections. You don't get as much as for the regular hotels, regular things. For example, to book a hotel in ITC or not, you need not check for the reviews because they are already branded. But something if you are trying for review, one single review might be a hard in terms of judging the platform. See, that's the reason at times one recommendation is always the best recommendation. That gives a clear idea. Now what I have done is that after seeing all the reviews, I also notified that what is the distance from the nearest places to visit. The first tool which is helping for me is maps.google.com. X place from hotel to Y place from the hotel, how much distance? At what time the sun sets so that I can be safer. If I drive a two-wheeler, what is the probability? And what is the chances of this hilly terrains? All these things has been planned. Trust me, if you are planning for future, if you would like to travel, trigger me up, I am always open for travel. And now the travel has been helping me, right? What about the customers? It is also helping others. That's the reason you have this people who recommend for your travel and the people who are doing a lot. Now, leaving about one freelancer who is helping you in terms of the travel. Make my trip, go if you go. These people use a lot of tools in terms of what exactly you are trying to search. And they do a lot of reporting. They do use the best of the cloud mechanisms, call it as a Google server, AWS for storage and other purposes. And they understand something called as heat maps. What is a heat map? Where do you click in the website? Where are you trying to search? What exactly you are trying to search? For example, if I am trying to search something from Goa, right? And if you say that okay, I have tried to book from Hyderabad to Mumbai, and you are a reputed customer for us, and this is the coupon for valid for next 1 hour, enjoy it. Why that coupon is applied only for me but not for everyone? Because your browsing history actually leads you to be a customer for him. And he should be able to satisfy you as well. That's the reason you need not worry too much about for any kind of a planning when you go to, because there are ample amount of options available. Ample amount of options. Now in healthcare, right? Before Corona, before COVID, right? COVID is not yet ended. Yes, we are still in it. For example, if you are not feeling well, what is the first action? Let's say you got fever. What is your first action? Dolo. Okay. After Dolo? Don't say after Dolo is paracetamol. Dolo itself is a paracetamol. Oh, okay. Not colonial medicines yet. Okay. So earlier we used to go to the doctor at the point level 3 where you are suffering, right? But these days we are going at the level where that is increasing and hurting a lot. A generic has been stopped. Agree?
Yes.
Agree? A normal generic doctor consulting has been stopped. For example, you are not going to doctor for each and every instance because it was suggested that you have your primary medicine with it. If that is not helping you, then you go for a doctor. Now, imagine that if someone is getting a fever or cold, your body is the first sense which will take you that, okay, I am not feeling well. And some action should be done, because if you don't take any kind of an action, the day will be disturbed. The next day will be disturbed. Not only yourself is being disturbed, you are disturbing your whole family. Clear? Now, how the data is helping you? For example, exactly last year, I have been suffered with COVID. In fact, most of you might have suffered with COVID. I don't say that my case was unique, but I have suffered. I am perfectly well after 15 days. But the negative report is not getting in. I don't know what exactly is happening. And few people say that, okay, come, we'll get rectified and you go get out. And some people say that, okay, just admit. I had to contact different hospitals where they just don't say that, boss, you just get in. Rather than, boss, this is the condition and you go. There are only a couple of doctors after getting a lot of information so that don't join in hospital, this can be cured. And the only one criteria is that your SpO2 level should be above 90. If that is dropping off, then trigger the family. Now, after seeing all these conditions, how the data has been disturbed, data is threat as well, actually. Every time checking the pulse rate, every time someone is calling in, every time you are checking your fever, the first instance in my life where the data itself is a fear for me is the one where the COVID instance is there. But still, you can actually get record when you talk to a lot of people, take the different opinions, correct it and adapt it according to your need. For example, a lot of people you might have seen, right? Use this vaporizer continuously. I said that my nose was pretty much good and why would I use my vaporizer? See, your body condition is the one adaptable solution which is actually helping you out. That way where the healthcare personally has helped me out, now professionally how that is going to help. Imagine that you have built a robot, some automation system. You use this walker apps, right? The Fitbit apps and all. Now, does the Fitbit app says that how much time you are sleeping per day? Yeah? Yes, no? What food should you take it? It's not a dietitian, right?
No.
So, for example, I haven't used the Fitbit app. Maybe you can suggest a better one, for sure. Suggest a better one. Now, what is the use of a Fitbit app?
Heart rate.
How many calories, right? How many kilometers do you walk? Let's say, okay, heartbeat. So every time it triggers your heartbeat, all the time. Become new, yeah? Stress levels. SpO2, okay. Do you need to check my SpO2 right now? No. One of the biggest challenge in terms of getting any kind of an instrument is that should be helpful for you in the long term. Cannot be just an instrument. Cannot be an ornament. A Fitbit is not an ornament for sure. It should somehow, for example, on an average you will be spending from 3,000 to 10,000, right? More than that. So, when you are using that, consider from Nizambet to Bachwali, there are, say, 5 kilometers, 4 kilometers. More than that. Okay, so say from GRIT college to Bachwali, 4 kilometers. Do you need a counted machine when you try to walk? Not exactly right. Because the kilometer boards are available. So Bachwali 2 kilometers, there are big hoardings available all the time. Maybe I would like to have a Fitbit or kind of a robotic based system where that actually understands me for first 30 days. It's more or less like I'm traveling with them. For first 30 days, ensuring that they're there with me understand what exactly how much time I'm speaking, how much time I'm there in the company, how much time I'm traveling in a day. And it should understand my blood pressure, my eating habits, everything. Fitbit, I don't think that also calculates your eating habits, right? It doesn't. No, you need to have a kind of that kind of a system which would help you. Which would help you to ensure that your life is getting much better. If you have the real complete AI solution in terms of any kind of an instrument, trust me, 100 years is 100% possible. That can be possible with respect to the technology. Because, for example, being a trainer, for example, let's say, if I had to travel with you, one session typically might not be really enough to understand me or to understand you. It needs a lot of time. That can be a life partner, that can be a friend. You cannot make a close friend on the second day unless and until you know earlier. Agree? Agree? So, why I'm talking about the traveling mechanism? Traveling mechanism is not just something like a way you go for tour or travel. It happens with the data all the time. When you try to travel with any kind of an instrument or any kind of a tool, right, what exactly happens is that you got to know each other. That's the reason you are getting a kind of an healthcare systems, and maybe the definite advancement will be a kind of an instruments which would take care of your whole life cycle. Security, advertisement, food planning as well. What is the best food? You cannot go to, it's not mandated that every food is the best food for you. So what are the foods which can be adaptable for you? It's also because of that analysis. I don't want to talk anything about analysis, that's not my entire subject, but there's another field. It's not only the tourism or healthcare. Let's say if you are planning for the future, right? How do you plan for the future? What's your future plans? To get into job? Or to do your MTech or PhD, something like that? Right? Now, when you say that I would like to do that, are you fixed to do that, or is there any chance where you change the decision as well? Why are you changing the decision when you have the thought process? Situations. So what can be the situation? It can be any situation. In fact, you need not aim for an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a thought when you see a problem. For example, today you might not be an entrepreneur. Tomorrow you can be an entrepreneur because you have seen some problem. Entrepreneurship is not an aim. Entrepreneurship is a thought. Right? There are only two ways where you can live in life. Either you become an employer or else an entrepreneur. Now, to confine to this particular statement E&D as well, it might look simple, right? But I cannot give a right away statement to anyone, that too for someone who is recording and someone who is in the live stream. It can be controversial as well. So, there are only two ways where anyone can live. Either you become an employee or else you become an entrepreneur. So, how can you judge that? The only judgment is that your boss itself is an entrepreneur boss or else a businessman, in other words. Right? To come to that process, for example, the founder of this particular college, leave it about, I don't want to talk about whether they have hazards, they have the X background, that's a different story altogether. The one problem they might have noticed is that there is a business problem, there can be a business solution, which can be a profitable solution. Profitable solution in terms of getting also the reputation and also money. The business problem is, how many people are residing in and around? What are the top engineering colleges? What are the intermediate colleges which are around? And are all the engineering colleges are able to accommodate these people? Imagine that someone who has to go to somewhere around Shamshabad on a day-to-day basis. Why don't I have some college or here? Itself is a thought process. Now here also the data is helping. So we are not a new generation data analyst. We are actually, every person is by default a data analyst. Agree? By default, it's a thumb stamp data analyst. For small instance, trust me, for small instance in your life, there is a role of data. So, even my signature says that, see, analysis analytics are not just terms which you use. They are by default already been a part of your life. For example, which tool, which college, everything has a tool mechanism. Now tell me, if the whole world is talking about the data is oil, data is gold, data is diamond, what are the terms are? In your aspect, tell me where exactly the data is not helping you. Can I repeat? Tell me one instance where the data is irritating. Can be irritating, right? There are pros and cons for everything. We are always talking about the positive angle of it. Let's talk about the controversial angle of it. What are the some instances where the data is, why do I need this data?
Too much data.
Too much of data. Why do I need too much of data? Are there any instances like that? Think. Any examples? Any example, why do I need this data? Oh, this data I got it. People assume that this was a great data, but this is useless. I've been to a couple of movies in past 1 year. After seeing the reviews and recommendations, that's my perspective. And I found that this is one of the useless movies which have been there. That's not a common opinion. On day one, the reviews were great, day 4 the house was vacant. Have you always kind of a scenarios like that? Some examples? What is one such examination paper where you don't like to write 100% from your heart? Definitely there will be one bad paper. Okay, sorry, if there are professors over here, I'm sorry, please. We're not here to target anyone. What is one such paper where you don't like it? Sorry? What was it? Sorry, basic sir? Basic analytical engineering. Electrical engineering.
Because that is not their subject. They are completely not core subjects. It's not core subject.
Oh.
Not a core. That is
The best way to escape is that answer something which no one knows it. Right, agree? So I don't know about, see, I don't want to touch some of those terms which are out of my scope. See, sorry again. The best way to respond for some instance is that I don't know. Your heart looks piece of mind. Seriously, what happens is that there are some instances where in one of the city where I have been there, and I said that I would like to go to Express. Okay sir, catch auto from here and go out there, ask someone from there. You see the client is on a regular basis? Yes, at times. So you go to that place there and I was seriously, I mean as if I am in the Jabardast comedy show for a moment. And I am becoming someone like a jump. You know what? There was one area in Hyderabad where me and my wife were searching for a home. And we asked where is the toilet shop? What was the mathematics? So he said that, sir, exactly perpendicular from here you can see the street. And I don't have pen and paper and I was driving two-wheeler. That person definitely would be a great mathematician for sure. Maybe my bad is that I was standing and I was asking in the right at the road corner or something like that. Sir, exactly perpendicular from here, you have a house for rent, sir. I don't have any comments to say that whether that's a good answer or bad answer. I was in a Taruma and the kind of a Taruma that should I appreciate him or did I get a solution? I got a solution where I don't know what is the solution. I got an answer When that is the right answer in this aspect where he has delivered it, that will be helpful or not unless and until I understand again the perpendicularism. Okay, then I have to go it over here, okay, this corner it is there, okay, if I am standing from here, did he answer from here or that's it? That's also a big challenge. So, what happens is that, my dear friends, too much of data, that is too bad. So, the much loaded information is the much dangerous as well. So, that's the reason, have something which is only needed. Our brain runs in a query mechanism. It actually shows what exactly you need. Okay. What is the top priority item is the query. Your brain itself is a SQL query boss. For example, I am talking about the school example, right? For example, sorry, your name?
Pranav.
Pranav, if I ask Pranav, what is one of the stupidest incident which are done in 8th class in September? That can be right query. Pranav, what is the stupidest incidents which are done in 8th class or else in your schooling? That's a generic question. The world doesn't need pure things. The world always starts with generic, genuine, real, false, and facts. How to learn data science is always a generic question, where we will have ample amount of answers. I am a mechanical engineer, and I have completed successfully till 3rd year, but I would like to master in data science, but without missing the original field. So the second one might be a big lengthy question, but you will see the right answers from the second one. But the first one, you have a lot of acts which are being talked about, join our institute, join XY institute, join XZ institute. Your search query is also, so whenever you try to answer it, right, your query mechanism should be specific here so that the query can be understandable. For example, even in LinkedIn, when you are trying to seek a help, right, you have to ask to the right people at the right time, or else your post at least should be a right query. Your brain itself is a SQL. Your brain is made of lot of SQL queries for sure, 100%. For example, if I say, can you give me the list of all the white cars in your college? There might be ample amount of white cars. Then how would I list it? Select star from cars is not the answers. It's not the answer at all. But you need to filter where the car color is red, where the car is from the TS or 80, whatever. Now, that gives the right answer. So, after collecting the whole list of say 1000 cars in your college, in which the white cars can be a predictable 400 for sure, I need only 40% of 400, not more than that. So even, for example, if you like to learn any kind of an AI and other concept, right? The most common concepts are statistics. Programming is your choice. No, here also the data is only helping. What is the best place to learn? What is the best document to learn? Trust me, if you ask me what can be the right answer, there is no right answer, because every right answer has a biased opinion. My answer is not equal to your answer. In this way, for myself itself, the data is helping out. Trust me, for someone from Great Learning or other platforms, where they are ready to train you up and try to boost up, they have these algorithms to attack. That's where that is helping their business. Clear? Any questions? Is this session interesting or boring? Any questions? Any questions? We have almost 10 minutes of time, and I am open to any kind of questions. If I say any, the generic can be anything. You are open to any kind of questions where I will be happy to answer. Yeah. Any questions? There's no good question, bad question, ugly question. Now, what are the tools which are being there in data analytics? There are, see, you are using the Gmail. The Gmail itself is a part of the Google Cloud Platform. So all the things which have been, you are already there in the cloud platforms. So what are the visualization platforms which have been available? The common Excel, MS Excel itself is a visualization platform, followed by Power BI and Tableau. What are the data modeling tools which have been data storage, data staging, Informatica, Power BI, again, lot of tools. Now, any questions? Any question? No good question, no bad question. Any kind of confusion, I will be happy to answer. If there are no questions, I think it's time to wrap. Yeah, cool. Thank you, my dear friends.
Thank you, sharing for the valuable information.
Gracias.